Today we are going to talk about solving inequalities. Inequalities is a mathematical sentence that involves these symbols of less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or not equal to. Example A, there are 4 examples in this series. The first step is to isolate the variable. The variable in this example is x. In order to isolate that variable, I move everything that's on the left side of the equation over to the right side by doing the opposite or the inverse operation. The opposite of a negative 10 is a positive 10. I must keep this inequality in balance by doing the same thing to both sides of the equation. Negative 10 and positive 10 equals 0. Those are called additive inverses. The left side of the equation, I'm left with x is less than or equal to 40 plus 10 is 50. In order to graph this, I start by making my graph. I'm going to put 50 in the middle. I'm going to add on to the number line to the right. You could go by any increments you want. And I'm going to add to the number line going to the left. If you see these symbols right here, your circle will be open, and I'll explain that in a second. If you see less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, your circle will be closed. Closed circle means that this is part of the solution set. 50 would be part of that because I see the equal to. So my answer could be equal to 50 or it could be anything that's less than 50. So in order to create this graph, I put my circle on 50. And because 50 could be a solution because it could be equal to 50, I will make the circle closed. And anything that's less than 50 can also be a solution, and the left is less, and so I'll shade it into the left. Example B, 8 is greater than m divided by 8. I need to get the variable, isolate that first by moving this 8 to the left side of the equation. Since this means to divide with that fraction bar, I'm going to do the inverse, which is multiply the right side by 8 and multiply the left side by 8. 8 divided by 8 is 1. And on the right side, I'm left with m is less than, because we're reading from right to left instead of left to right, 8 times 8 is 64. A lot of times people may get confused when it comes to graphing. So we're going to reverse this so it is in a familiar format. So m is less than 64. Now this is a common way that we like to see it. In order to graph it, I start with my graph. I'll put 64 in the middle. I'll build to the right. It doesn't matter what increments you choose. I'm going to go by 2s this time. And we're going to build to the left. So I need to start with my circle on 64. I know it's going to go on 64 regardless. Question is it going to be open or closed? Well, if you see one of these symbols, it's going to be open. And if it includes the equal sign, which means that is part of the solution set, it's going to be closed. In this case, it is anything less than 64. It does not include 64. So since left is less, I'm going to shade my graph to the left.